Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I want to introduce myself to you as Miss Mysterious Melinda, or better, just Miss Melinda. But I am very mysterious, and I wanted you to know and meet me and talk to me about what I have to say. I am very, very upset about what the language and the talk is right now about the issue of slavery being left out of American history because it makes them people, and people who are black know what I mean when I say them people don't want their future generations to know how horrible and horrible their ancestry was. I don't think that's right. In fact, I know it's not right. And I've been mad about it for about 8 years because that's about how long ago that conversation started about leaving out the slavery issue in American history. And it's interesting that I heard about it that long time ago, but I didn't think on it until I started hearing the conversation of today. That's how they do. They plan stuff. They wait, they sit, they plan. And then they try to bring it out as nothing in particular, but yet destructive to us. That is that governor guy down in Florida. I won't call his name. But this morning I want to talk about me and how I don't like what I am seeing in the universe right now. Well, I'm one of those people who have always been observant about life and culture, and in particularly black people world, because that's where I'm a part of. And for this guy to say that when I was a little girl, I saw the black and colored, the colored and white signs on things and on water fountains and doors. And the horrible thing I used to have to listen to is how white men would call grown black men boys. Hey boy, come here this. Hey boy, come here that. And I'm looking at this man, and I know he's a family man and he has kids, and he's not a boy. But it's okay that me as a child have to witness such an act. But it's not okay for their children, future children, to have to know about it. I've been watching them people all my life. I know a lot about how they act and what they are all about. This is nothing more than the KKK in another color, in another outfit. The mental process is the very thing that I saw when I was a child. And to try to fool you with the kind of talk and how they present it to you to make you think it's nothing. I was listening at that conversation that y'all ex-president, I won't call his name either. Certain people, devil names I just never say. But at that funeral for that girl who loved and worshiped him, poor black lady, ooh, she a sad lady. You cannot worship a person like him and not be totally sad. And you can't be mad with her, Diamond or Jewel or whatever her name was, because she couldn't help it. Her mind came from her forefathers, which was a true sign of how they were beat down all their life. And her mental state is that of her great-great-grandfather and the beat down he experienced. But if you try to tell her that, she won't want to know it. And anyway, I get carried away. So hold up. This introduction of me is basically to introduce myself to the platform and come in and say whatever I think I need to say if it'll help somebody. I know how to help people. I've always known how to help people, and I do. But I've never been public. I've always been private for many reasons. But right now, I don't want to be private. I want to show you what I can do, and I intend to do it. That right now, I'm going to tell you what I thought of this morning. Now, I am really a master tarot card reader. I've been doing it for years. I wasn't, let's say I was born with all of this kind of knowledge that had to unfold over the years. It's like when I heard about tarot cards, I was like, knew that was something I had to know. Or that I did know, I just needed to be presented with it. Born in a small town in Georgia. I don't have to say much more about the white people and everything, because if you know I'm from Georgia, you know the kind of white people who live in Georgia. The kind of white people who drag black people and black men on the back of their cars and trucks just for the hell of it. Just because they can and they know that nobody will do anything about it. I'm supposed to grow up knowing and experiencing this, but heaven forbid that you write it down in a history book and tell the future white kids this right here. Ooh, it just can't be born. Oh my God, it just can't be done. We are a great nation, and the way we call ourselves great is because we lie, we tell stories, we make up things, we steal other people's culture, we do all of that and tell you how great we are. But guess what, people? This is the age of Aquarius. There will be no more stand like that right now. Look around you. What I'm about to talk about is nothing less than the cosmos having a day of reckoning. Look at the things that are going on right now. There's so much I can talk to you about, but let me just tell you about my book, Age of Aquarius, Spiritual Reckoning. I wrote this book back in 2017. I talk about the age that we are now in. See my drawing on front? It's kind of interesting. Anyway, we're in another age right now. We're in the age where things are going to change the way it's done. How did I know that, you think? I've been knowing it all my life. I've been hip to the hickey, so we used to say. I've been hip to the hickey ever since I first entered this time. I'm sure I had entered many other times, but this time I was already ready for what I was going to do. It was no question about what kind of family I was to be born into. It was no question about what I would be exposed to as a child so that I would know how to conduct my world once I got on my own. Now that takes years of explanation. It didn't come overnight. But I was born with certain things. Certain things everybody who has this kind of understanding about the universe has. It's nothing you can like tell people and they understand, because you don't really understand for many years what's going on. But I learned through my tarot card reading and other informational sources how to work what I was born with, and how to make it work and help other people. I've been around a long time, and the people who met me know me as a person. They actually call me the ambassador of laughter, because I will make you laugh anytime I feel like it. It's a gift that I've always had. My mother had it. It's a gift that a lot of people don't understand. But if you understand the power of laughter and you can use it at will, it makes your world magical. It makes you different. It makes you decide how to live your world, how to live your life, how to make the order in which you want it to be, just by the fact that you have a gift that you can make people laugh whenever you want to. It's one of the few things in the world that people share all over the world, laughter. Think about it. Everybody laughs. Everybody laughs. So the fact that everybody do something make you know that there's an energy that you need to look into that will make you understand how that energy can be used to your benefit and the world too. Because you can make people laugh, you can make them forget what's their problem. When I see people, they remember me all the time. They'll say, hey, they might not remember my name, but hey, how you doing? They love to be around me because they know I'm going to say something that's going to make them feel good. And I always know exactly what to say because I can read their energy so quickly. I learned that I not learned that. I learned that I had that ability as a child. I learned that. And my grandma and my mother helped nurture that and show me how it's done. You see, black people are really smarter than they think they are. And you got to know your history to understand that. You got to know from whence you came. Why do you think when white people brought us to this country, the first thing they wanted to do was erase our history? Because if you don't know your history, you don't know nothing. You can't find out who you are or what your real power is, because you know nothing about where you come from. So the mere fact that they didn't want you to know that means that it is the most powerful thing to know. And then they harp on their history. Oh, this day is valuable. Oh, this day is valuable. Oh, no, but black people, they ain't got no valuable day. They don't know nothing valuable. So let's don't write about them. What kind of crap is that? Now, you want me to not say nothing, right? You want me to say, oh, Mr. Charlie, thank you for just saying that. You smart man, and you's a great person, Mr. Charlie. And I thank you for allowing me to tell you how great you are. That's how dumb that man who went to that Diamond Girl funeral. If those people didn't get up and walk out on him when he sent that telling them how great he was and how he could do, he was so happy with himself. And the funeral was not about the girl, it was about him. And you didn't recognize that, then you a big old fool. You can tell out people's heritage. You can tell the ones on the Negroes who bowed to the white man and would never get up because they worship their white people. These people are those descendants. Diamond and that girl, her friend, that you can tell who her folks were. They were those people who would just love white people to death. White people couldn't do nothing wrong, and they were glad to be a servant and be called a boy and be spit on and anything as long as white men do it. So these are their descendants. Me, I'm a descendant from another kind of people who will kill a white man in a heartbeat if you mess with him. that kind of man. That's where I'm from. That you can tell the descendants. I can look at them descendants who love the white people like they do, and I know who their ancestors were. Because the energies that I carry and that you carry, you inherited from your ancestors. The looks, your eyes, your nose, your energy, all of that came from somewhere else. You are just keepers of the information. And then when you have children, you pass the information on. But you don't know that, do you? You ain't thought about that. So today I thought about it. I said, now I need to know by myself. If I'm going to get out here and say some things, I need to make sure I'm saying some things that's in agreement with the universe. Because I'm a serious spiritual person. I believe in a lot of things that are close up to the energy and the worship of the spiritual energy that guides the whole thing. That's why I wrote the book, Age of Aquarius, Spiritual Reckoning. Because this is a reckoning period for all of that stuff that happened back in Pisces with the big churches and the lying preachers and everything that went on at that point. See, you didn't understand what I just said. We left Pisces in 1954 according to the people who keep that kind of information. And then we are now in the age of Aquarius, which I do change. You see how the energy has changed so drastically. It has changed because we are in another age. That's why I wrote the book. I want people to understand this what's happening and why it is happening. And you need to know first a lot of things about yourself so you can do and understand and get through this thing. Look at all this stuff we are having to contend with. You just never ever knew or ever thought that people would go off the rail so quickly, so frequently. It's the energy. In the age of Aquarius, it's a cleansing. It's a different thing going on, and a lot of people are not aware of it, and it destroys them. It is so different. It's so not what they are accustomed to. The energy in the age of Pisces was those people who thought that they could actually rule the planet. They built these churches, they had all these people who came up with these ideas to rule the masses of people. That's what all of that in the Pisces was about. Ruling the masses and doing what made the masses of people do what you tell them to do. You, the Lord, you are actually in control of everything. That is why a cleansing is going on right now in the age of Aquarius, because that is not how it should be. It went on for such a long time until the age of Aquarius is changing that, it's reckoning, it's doing all that. So let me get back to what I was telling you. Know that I just bounce around sometimes. I mean no harm, but I have so much going through my brain until I try to keep up with it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But in any event, I hope to help somebody with my videos. Okay, now what I asked was this about myself. I wanted to find out if indeed the course that I'm embarking on right now is one that the universe accepts and understands and want me to do it, and they've given me their consent. That's what I was looking for, the consent of the consent of the universe. Okay, so here we go. I said my little prayer. Now the first card, I do a what I call a power spread, 7-card power spread. 7 is a very spiritual number, and I always use 7 whenever I do a spiritual count or layout on my card. Okay, so the first card I pull is this card. Now, that's a power card. It's like the master power card for for the question I asked. It says that this is the Empress, who the holder of all sacred knowledge, the one who has the power of the goddess of Isis, who is a goddess of the spiritual world, which I practice. And so I'm excited about this card being in this thing. Very, very excited. I can't hold. I'm not good at this, so y'all just bear with me, okay? I can't hold the camera steady. I'm gonna have to buy something to do this. But anyway, so the second card is this card supports this card. That's the purpose of this card, is to maintain and support what this card. This card tells you what the story is all about. It tells you it defines what the story is in relation to your question. And my question was, do I have the wherewithal, the powers? Do I understand the universal do I understand the universe enough to necessarily make a difference with what I want to do? And this card absolutely confirms yes, because it's the story of ancient history. It's the story of power. It is knowing what to do, when to do, how to do. And the goddess is related to Maya and Isis, the goddesses that I worship and serve. This is the support card, so to speak, for this card. If that's not necessarily a support, but it enhances and further underlines your question. And this card is just as mysterious as this card. This is the Queen of Cups: creativity, imagination, power, heavenly flowing water, intellect. This is the queen of all of that, who knows all of that sacred wisdom. So these cards support each other. So far, I'm doing good. Okay. The third card is the Magician. The Magician, which means that I have all the things necessary to complete this work. Whatever the work is that I'm trying to start or do, or the question I asked, I have all the necessary tools. That's what the Magician does, and the magic to do it, and that's what I do. Okay, the next card is, but this card actually is innate intelligence. It is the qualifying knowledge that you have from your ancestors. It's saying that that's where you got all this from. The stuff that you inherited, it ain't that you inherited from your lineage, from somebody way back there. You ain't got nothing to do with it, but you must honor it and prepare and do the right thing by it, and appreciate the fact that you're in that lineage, and that you have that power, and you have the magic. And people don't understand the process of magic in the sense of spirituality. It really exists. I've used it all my life. And it's not so dramatic as people try to make it out. It's a spirituality of aligning your world to be the way you want it to be. And being in charge and having the power to have all the necessary things that you need and tools that you need to go through this life. But that comes from, you have to first know who you are. So now we are got that, now we say, well, what am I to do now? Well, you are to communicate with the universal principles. And guess what this says? This card is about me. A six of swords. That's my number. I am a six. So this reading is saying to me, it's talking about me. I'm a six. So, and there is no other number right now. And it's about communicating with the universal principles. Swords are knowledge and intellect. So it's letting me know that I have that intellect to communicate with the universal principles which generate the magic. That's what the magic comes from. And it's not, it's like when you think of somebody and they show up, or if you wanted to find a treat of some sort and it's there, and you think of going somewhere and somehow it matches out. Well, you didn't know how it happened. That is magic, and that's the magic that I speak of, and that's the magic that I've always lived by, and that's the magic I was taught as a child. And the next card for my reading is a 10 of coins. So what does that mean? Oh my goodness, that's another good sign. A 10 of coins means this reading is about the material world. It's about my ancestors. That's that image of the older man right there. It's about me going into the future. It's a happy card because 10 is a number for change. 1, 2, 3, and then 10, and 1, 2, 3. So it's a change. It's a whole new world that I'm getting ready to do. And I've already decided that I'm going to do it. So this is confirming me that it's okay. I did the right thing. And thank you. Okay, the next card. So that's the 5th card on the spread of power. I'm talking about, I wanted to know, should I do what I'm doing now? And the cards so far say yeah. And I'm starting something. So let's see what the next card. Now this card is an interesting card. This is an 8 of Cups. And you know, Cups again by the Queen. Creativity, imagination, going to a higher level. She's walking up a higher level. She has all these things that she has done, and she has the moon, which is very important. She's been through all the phases. She's learned all the stuff. She's studied all these things, and so have I. And that means that my level of what's going on in my world is going to increase. It's going to be better, and I can expect to know more than what I know. I know that what I think I know is nothing compared to what I can learn. And the last card that I pulled for me is another interesting, a 4 of Swords. Now what is swords? It's intellect. Remember, 6 of Swords, intellect. 4 is foundation, intellect. It's like you need to lie down and think of something different. You need to come up with a different plan. You need to take time to plan yourself out. And that is this introductory but the last 2, let's see. We got 2 more. I have extra cards sometimes. And I did this time. And it's interesting. It's the Knight of Cups. And again, the 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands means fast. It's going to happen fast. And this is a heavenly connection. So thank y'all. I hope you listen. Please comment and let me know if you like it. And subscribe so you'll know the next one I do. Thanks.